The top 50 free agents of the 2014 class. Guys, I'm counting them down from number 50 to number 1. This is the video for numbers 30 through 21, so be sure to check out the other 20 guys that have already appeared on the countdown. But we'll start at number 30 with Arthur Jones, the defensive end from the Baltimore Ravens. As far as 3-4 defensive ends go, Arthur Jones, to me, is clearly the top of the pack here in this free agent class. He's on the better side of 30 years old. Had it not been for the fact that he's really probably only a 3-4 defensive end, that's probably where he fits best, he would be higher on this list. But nonetheless, a guy who's going to get paid handsomely and a guy who plays a premium position now that a lot of teams are going to a 3-4. Arthur Jones, the 3-4 defensive end from the Baltimore Ravens. At number 29, I have Jason Worilds from the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a guy they've been waiting to break out, and you saw glimpses of him playing well last year. Really the first season where he sort of put everything together. He got more playing time, which I think was a big reason to do with that. He's already expressed the fact that if he's not going to be a starter in Pittsburgh, he doesn't want to return. We'll wait to see the cuts that happen with that Pittsburgh linebacking core. But nonetheless, Jason Worilds as a 3-4 linebacker in at number 29. At 28, I have Karlos Dansby, and there's a couple guys here on this specific video that if they were 5 years younger, they'd probably be in the top 10. And Karlos Dansby fits in that category. I do take into consideration age when I'm doing these lists, and Dansby is coming off a very good year last year. You already hear that the Cardinals are in in-depth conversations with him to bring him back on a multi-year deal. He is on the other side of 30, but a guy who was let go by the Dolphins last year, a decision they probably regret, especially after how Philip Wheeler played this year. But you get Karlos Dansby here at number 28, a guy that could have just as big an impact as anyone on this list next season. At number 27, I have Dennis Pitta of the Baltimore Ravens. Look, Pitta is a guy that's a very nice player, but he's even more valuable to the Ravens because of the security he brings Joe Flacco in that passing game. So I sort of look at guys as how they would have been perceived on the open market. I think Pitta is an average to a slightly above average tight end in the NFL. I think the Ravens will get a deal done with him, whether it's getting a multi-year deal done or franchising him. But you certainly, after watching last year, his meaning to the Ravens, I think, is more than that of pretty much any other team in the NFL. Dennis Pitta, the tight end. At number 26, I have Donald Butler. And I have Donald Butler here primarily because of his age and because he's a pretty good player. I mean, he's in his mid-20s, 25 when the season starts next year. An integral part of that Chargers defense that at spurts played pretty well last year. And again, this is another guy, a young guy. I would be surprised if he does hit free agency given his age and his production last year. Look for the Chargers to get a deal done with Butler before free agency at number 25. At number 24, I have Walter Thurmond from the Seattle Seahawks. And Thurmond, the cornerback, became a very big part of that secondary after Brandon Browner was suspended. The suspension stuff, though, is an issue with Thurmond as well. That's why I don't think you'll see the market be as vast for him. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him return to the Seahawks on a team-friendly deal, because any team that signs him, if he gets one more drug violation, he's suspended for a full season, and maybe even more, depending on the severity of the drug violation. So that's something to keep in mind with Thurmond. I factored in his play on the field more so with this ranking. Walter Thurmond, the cornerback from the Seahawks. At number 23, I have Randy Starks. Randy Starks and his teammate Paul Soliai, who showed up more towards the bottom of this top 50 list. Starks is a dual threat 4-3 defensive tackle. He can rush the passer. He can stuff the run with the best of them. He's approaching 30 years old, but not there yet. A guy that I think is going to get big money. There are several good, though, 4-3 defensive tackles. Some I've already had on the countdown, some still to come. But I think Randy Starks will find a home, and he'll be a guy that will get a good contract, certainly for a guy that's still in the prime of his career. At number 22, I have Jason Hatcher of the Dallas Cowboys. Look, Jason Hatcher is a guy that in the 4-3 scheme that Monty Kiffin brought to Dallas really shined. He's a late bloomer. And what teams have to ask themselves is, did he have one good season, or is he a true late bloomer that can play well into his mid-30s? Because he will be 32 years old at the start of next season. Look for maybe the Cowboys to make a strong push to bring him back. But again, I think there'll be a market there for, again, a 32-year-old late bloomer that really played well in that 4-3 system, the Tampa 2 last year. And at number 21, I have Anquan Boldin last year of the 49ers. And I know if all was equal, this is a guy that would be in the top 10, if not the top 5 on this list. He was the leading receiver for the 49ers this year, really held the fort down with Michael Crabtree out from a receiving perspective. We know the 49ers are very interested in bringing him back, and we can't blame them for wanting to do so. Boldin, maybe a borderline Hall of Fame player when all is said and done, still producing at a high level, even though he's on the other side of 30. That's really the only knock that you can use on Boldin at this time. And that's why I have him here at number 21. But again, a guy, if we're projecting to next year and the impact he's going to have on the NFL as a whole, very well a guy that could be in the top 10, if not the top 5 of this list. Guys, let me know what you think of numbers 30 through 21. Again, 2 more videos here as we count down to number 1. Be sure to hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Hit me up on Twitter as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, guys. I do these kind of videos all the time. NFL-related videos all the time here. So be sure to subscribe. It's completely free. Have a great day.